Shasha, and today I'm going to be reading Kidnapped by a Dragon. Do you ever watch a movie and wish you were the hero? Everything looks epic and awesome with the hero fighting the villain, and of course, there's always a damsel in distress as well. Imagine if it was your job to save the world. Well, that's what happened to me. My name is Shiloh. I'm 10 years old and well, this is my life. I have 3 sisters who are all older than me. There's Shiloh who's 16, Sinead who's 15, and then there's Sade who is 11, but we call her Shasha. Then of course there's my mom and dad, Vida and Marthel. Together we're the Onyx Family. Now that you know me and my family, let's get back to what I said in the beginning. It's Valentine's Day. Me and my sister Shasha are bored out of our minds. I have to admit, our imagination can get the best of us. And it also can get us into a lot of trouble. But you'll see for yourself, because I'm going to tell you guys everything. I'm going to bring you on another adventure, Onyx Kids Adventures. Kidnapped by a Dragon. Princess Shasha walked back and forth in the castle gardens. She was troubled. It was February 14th, Valentine's Day, and she didn't have a Valentine again. She sighed, "'Tis ye old Valentine's Day yet again, and I still don't have a Valentine," Shasha said to herself. "I wonder whether I'll ever meet my Valentine." She smoothed her fluffy pink dress and continued walking. The gardens were her favorite part of her castle. There were a lot of flowers, especially her favorite pink roses. "I wonder what my Valentine will bring me when he comes," Shasha wondered aloud. "Chocolate? My favorite flowers? Tickets to see a movie?" She huffed. Her Valentine hadn't shown up all these years. What was taking him so long? "Valentine, where are you?" she asked dejectedly. Suddenly, a crack sounded from the trees around her. Wait, this was it, Shasha thought. It must be my Valentine coming! He was finally here! She smoothed her hair down and looked into her pocket mirror. Her strawberry lip gloss was perfect. She put away her mirror and put a huge smile on her face. She was ready. Across the garden, the trees rustled and the bushes cracked. A large, ugly reptile emerged and started barreling towards her. Fire spewed from his mouth and loud roars pierced her ears. Princess Shasha gasped. She couldn't believe it. This couldn't be her Valentine. "Are you my Valentine?" She tried beaming a smile at the ugly creature. It was so close to her face, she could smell its breath which stunk of rotten eggs. This monster definitely needed to use a toothbrush every once in a while. In response to her question, it roared in her face, spraying saliva all over her dress and face. Shasha realized that this dragon was way too rude and disgusting to be her Valentine. "I guess not," she said before running away screaming. She didn't get far before the dragon grabbed her and threw her over its shoulder. Shasha pounded on its back. "Stop this at once! Where are you taking me? Help!" Shasha screamed. "Valentine, now would be the perfect time to show up!" Princess Handsome. Meanwhile, Shasha's brother, Prince Shiloh, was eating a snack with Prince Handsome, his buddy. This popcorn is so crunchy. Prince Shiloh took a piece and ate one. His face scrunched up and he immediately spit it out. "Puh! This popcorn is so spoiled." Prince Handsome said nothing as he was a man. Or mannequin, a few words. "Ah!" Shiloh jerked his head up in confusion. What was that? He looked around and was shocked to see his sister being dragged away by a dragon to the highest tower. "Ah!" Shasha screamed. She tried to break free, but the dragon was strong and not to mention scary. Shiloh puffed up his chest in fury. "My sister needs me!" He stepped forward to go save her, and he was stopped by an arm. What? Shiloh looked up and saw Prince Handsome shake his head. No! To stop him. He would go. "Prince Handsome," Shiloh said, "you can't go there by yourself." Prince Handsome said nothing, but drew out his sword and charged towards the highest tower. He needed some money, and this was the only way to get out of his parents' basement. "No!" Shiloh exclaimed. Prince Handsome would be destroyed. He wasn't strong enough to defeat a dragon. The dragon would eat him alive. Prince Handsome approached the tower steps, sweat dripping from his face. He turned around and saluted Shiloh. He could do this. What a brave fellow, Shiloh marveled. He watched as Prince Handsome labored up the many steps, every step closer to his doom. Huzzah! He charged into the tower with a shout. Crash! Bang! Boom! Shiloh could hear the dragon roar from above. This was not going to end well. Prince Handsome was a mannequin. Mannequins had no strength and no brains. Honestly, it didn't even really make sense why he even tried to fight. A couple seconds later, Prince Handsome's body parts tumbled down the tower steps, piece by piece. First his chest, then his legs, then his arms, and lastly his hair. Wait, Prince Handsome wears a wig? Shiloh knelt by Prince Handsome's pile of plastic parts and picked up an arm. He shook his head. Prince Handsome was a nincompoop. He'd put him back together later. For now, he was going to need help saving his sister. Professional help. The Jester. At the top of the tower, Shasha was thrown into the room and locked inside. Let me out! She banged on the door but heard no answer. Her hands hurt from hitting the door, so she stopped and threw her crown in frustration. Far away, Shiloh went searching for some help. He had heard of a mysterious person named the Jester who Shiloh was told to have the secret to being the dragon. But it was a long journey, but he was finally here. In front of him was a tiny little cubby. Excuse me, are you the Jester? Shiloh asked suspiciously. This place didn't look professional. He could be scammed. A voice came from the inside. Yes, I am! A pair of legs popped out of the cubbyhole. Give me a minute. Shiloh raised his eyebrows impatiently. This girl needed to hurry up. He had a sister to save. A second later, the Jester finally came out of her cubbyhole. She stretched out of bed and groaned. Ugh, my back. Sorry, it's just a little tight in there. Shiloh nodded. I can see that. Would you like a tour? The Jester shoved Shiloh's head into her little door. Over there is the living room. There is a music room. I like to jam a little. And over there, I need to cut straight to the point here. Shiloh interrupted as he crawled out of the cubby. I need help. The Jester became serious immediately. What kind of help? She pulled Shiloh to his feet and looked deep into his eyes. What kind of help? She repeated. Well, a princess. Say no more! The Jester threw Shiloh onto her back and charged away. We're off to save the princess! Wait! You don't even know what we're up against, Shiloh exclaimed. The Jester suddenly stopped and dropped him. Ow! Shiloh rubbed his elbow. So, who is she in danger of? The Jester jumped up and down in excitement. Oh, a fairy? An ogre? A cat! She shooed at that last one. How about a dragon? Shiloh answered cautiously. You're on your own, bud. The Jester started back towards her cubbyhole. Wait! Shiloh ran to catch up with her. You promised you were going to help me. So now, you must. No matter what. The Jester sighed. Fine. You're lucky I have a good conscience, kid. She reached behind her and drew out a super long sword out of nowhere. Take this. He took the sword in a way that made it tremble in his hands. Whoa, where'd you get this? She looked at him like it was obvious. YoldAmazon.com, duh. The sword started to feel too heavy and he couldn't keep it straight. Back up a bit, the Jester said worriedly. My balance is off, I can't hold this much longer. His hands wobbled like he was rocking on a boat. The sword swept left and right, knocking the Jester's hat off her head. All right, that's enough. She took the sword from him. You need lessons. The battle cry. Help me. Perfect. I am such a genius, Shasha said to herself. The message that she wrote would surely find her Valentine and he could come and save her. And if not her Valentine, then maybe Shiloh could save her. She rolled up the letter and gave it to the dove outside her window. Give this to my brother Shiloh, or my Valentine, or Prince Handsome, or anyone please. Dove flew away. Shasha felt her hope rise. A huge smile drew across her face. She would be saved any moment now. Crunch! No. It ate the bird. The dragon ate the bird. She was doomed. Dejected, Shasha did what she always does in moments like this. She burst out into a song. The music rose, the lights dimmed, as she took a breath. I just wanna find love, not that guy lined up. I need help from above, please send me love. Shiloh, even though he was miles away, joined in the song with his own verse. As siblings, they always seemed to know what the other was doing. They were almost like twins. I just wanna fight. I wanna cut up his head, put it on my bed, laugh all night till my face turns red. Back in the tower, Shasha charged into her door, tried to break it down with her body. I gotta get out of here. In the field, Shiloh practiced sword fighting with the jester. He sung as his sword slammed into the jester's sword. There will be no fears, and there will be no tears. In the distance, it seemed like even Prince Handsome knew what they were singing and joined in. He sang in his princely voice. My body hurts. Shiloh raised his sword triumphantly. He belted, we're gonna put him in jail, where he won't get a bail. The jester interjected, this is gonna fail. Shiloh shook his head, no it's not. The jester sang back, let's get real. The music suddenly stopped at this awkward argument. Shiloh looked at the jester with determination. If you have no faith in this mission, then you can leave. But I am saving my sister, no matter what. Facing the dragon. The jester saw the look in his eyes and realized the boy would do anything for his sister. Maybe, just maybe, he could win against the dragon. Fine, forget I said anything. She raised her hand to surrender. Shiloh nodded. Good. He looked towards the stairs of the tallest tower. Well, here I go. He took the long flight, his legs aching with every step, but he pushed further. He had to save his sister. It didn't matter that she ate the rest of his favorite cereal that morning. It didn't matter that she accidentally spilled ink on his favorite shirt. It didn't even matter that she pranked him by getting a hungry hippo to chase him the other day. Actually, now he's starting to rethink this. He shook his head. No, he needed to save her even though she was super annoying. Finally, Shiloh arrived at the door of the tower. He looked around cautiously. Luckily, he didn't see the dragon anywhere. He tried the door, but it was locked. He smacked his head. Of course it was. I guess it wouldn't hurt to knock. He knocked twice and the door flew open. Standing right in front of him was the dragon. Was this the wrong room? Hello? Does Princess Shasha live here? He asked politely. The dragon couldn't get mad at me for asking, right? The dragon wore in his face. Yep, it was mad. Help, Shiloh! Shasha yelled from inside the room. He's going to eat me! Shiloh gasped. He drew out his sword as the dragon jumped towards him. He jazzed the dragon as it charged in his direction. I brought a sword, he declared, raising it high. The dragon plucked it out of his hand, then threw it out of his reach. Luckily, I brought another sword! Shiloh declared yet again, raising it high. The dragon plucked this one out of his hand too and threw it even farther. Shiloh's mouth went dry. Time to run. Ah! Shiloh ran as fast as he could, hoping the dragon wasn't faster than him. He glanced behind him. Yep, he was definitely faster. He somersaulted and jumped over obstacles in his way. He needed to think fast. How could he defeat the dragon without his sword? That's all he trained for. Shiloh looked around him and spotted a bunch of colorful ball pit balls. Perfect. He knew just what to do with them. He grabbed the bag and dumped it behind him. Take this, you mans! He yelled out. The dragon didn't slow down in time and slipped on the colorful balls and roared and tried to find its balance, but it ended up toppling over. It was finished. Or so Shiloh thought. He's finished, Shiloh said as he stood over it. It turned out to be easier than he thought it would be. Time to go get Shasha. He turned away, but in that instant, the dragon grabbed Shiloh's leg and dragged him away. Whoa! Shiloh fell on top of it in a heap. He couldn't move. Not now. He looked around frantically. An idea popped in his head. Shiloh grabbed the dragon's tail and bit down as hard as he could. The dragon roared. The pain was too much for it to bear. Before long it passed out. Shiloh got up and brushed off his clothes. Now it was finished. Shasha dropped the binoculars she was holding to watch the fight and ran over. "You saved me," she exclaimed. Shiloh opened his arms for a hug. "Yeah, I did." He was proudly pushed over as Shasha stormed past him. "Prince Handsome, you saved me." In front of Shasha was Prince Handsome's plastic head and one arm. Shiloh's mouth dropped open. He must have snuck in to take the credit. Shasha picked up his head. "You fought until your body was in ruins. You are definitely my Valentine." She leaned in to give him a peck on the cheek. "Mwah." "Hold on. How did you even get up here?" Shiloh asked. Shasha rolled her eyes. "Shiloh, go do your field work. But before you go, what are we supposed to do with this dragon?" Shiloh rubbed his chin and thought, maybe it could be a pet? "I don't want it as a pet. It's too stinky and big and wouldn't fit in my pink doggy playhouse. It's green and the colors would clash." Shasha's nose scrunched up in distaste. I got an idea," Shiloh said. He had just the person who would want it. "Tally-ho, Shiloh! Me and the dragon would be best friends. He's the dog I've always wanted." The jester hugged the dragon tight. The dragon's eyes pleaded with Shiloh to save it from being this girl's pet, but Shiloh had no sympathy for the dragon. "Bye, Jester." He walked jolly away, whistling a tune without a care. The jester turned towards the dragon. "Let me show you the place." She shoved the dragon towards a tiny cubbyhole space. "Just go squeeze in a little bit, tuck your tail in. If you could just scrunch up your legs, it'll fit just right." The end. If you want your own copy of Kidnapped by a Dragon, visit onyxstarpublishing.com. The book is also available on Amazon and other select stores.